Hello friends! So, over the next week or so, if everything goes as planned, I should officially pass 100,000 subscribers. Wow! Who would have guessed it? You people have done me a tremendous service, and so as my thanks to you, I am making a special two-part video all about the topic that I know you guys like hearing me talk about the most, which is Canada. So, a long time ago, I made a video all about the different provinces of Canada based on this big bag of nonsense that I bought at the stationery store. But what I didn't mention at the time was that the bag also contained this. This is a guide to fun, patriotic classroom activities. And in honor of the imminent 100,000 subscriber milestone, I will proceed to do every single activity in this booklet. Section 1, National Anthem. Encourage students to learn the National Anthem and be able to sing it without looking at the words. Well, that's easy. O Canada, our home and native land, true patriot love and all thy sons command, with glowing hearts we see thee rise, true and strong and free from far and wide. O Canada, we stand on guard for thee, God keep our land glorious and free. O Canada, we stand on guard for thee. Done. Ask students, what does the National Anthem mean to you? Well, the National Anthem is a patriotic ritual that all citizens of all countries do at sporting events and school assemblies. The National Anthem of Canada has increasingly become a politically contentious issue after Prime Minister Trudeau changed some of the lyrics to be more gender inclusive. It used to say, true patriot love in all thy sons command. And now, following an act of parliament, it says true patriot love in all of our command. Or is it in all of us command? Honestly, I can't even remember. But what this says to me is that patriotic symbols are an increasingly divisive thing in a diverse society, as the different groups that make up that society, sort of jockey for influence in an attempt to ensure that those symbols are in fact truly reflective of the diversity of the society. I think we are increasingly aware that a lot of patriotic symbols were crafted in the image of only one faction of the society, and that's something that is a lot more contested these days. Anyway, work together to create a class anthem to the same tune. Well, obviously, I don't have a class, so let's see if we can come up with a channel anthem. All right, now let's get ready to cringe along with the JJ channel anthem, which I like to call OJJ channel. OJJ's YouTube channel. I really think you're fine. When Sun News closed, I made you to fill up my free time. I make videos on Canada, and people click like hell. I sometimes try to mix things up, but those don't do as well. Quebecers all hate me. I'm not super into them too. Oh, JJ's YouTube channel, I wish you had more views. Alright, how do you like me now? Section 2, the Beaver. Use the library and internet to do research on the beaver and its habitat, create beaver habitat dioramas, and write stories using the information gathered. Alright, that seems easy enough. All right, so here is my beaver habitat diorama. So here is the little beaver here, and he's swimming in the water, which is something that beavers often do. And here is his little beaver house, which is made of, fallen branches and mud and stuff. And this happy character is the sun. All right, and now are you ready for my well-researched beaver story? It is called Billy the Beaver. Once upon a time, there was a beaver named Billy. He lived in northern Ontario, which was a statistically common place for a beaver to live. His favorite foods were tree bark and aquatic vegetation, and his hobbies included working on his dam, spending up to 15 minutes underwater, and communicating through a complex system of anal secretions. But Benny was lonely, so one day he went to the beaver singles bar and met Benita. They lived together for many years in a monogamous fashion typical of their species, and had an average-sized litter of 2 to 4 kits. Then one day they were all killed by fur hunters, which was a dominant industry that played a critical role in the colonial settlement patterns of North America at the end. Alright, I'm doing good at this. Section 3, the National Flag of Canada. Use construction paper to create your own Canadian flags to hang on the walls of your room. Students will enjoy seeing their own flags, and your classroom will be decorated with Canada's colors. That sounds easy enough, but some people actually have a hard time drawing the Canadian flag, but I can teach you how to do it. See, people have a hard time with the leaf on the flag, but it is really just a series of 3 points, 1, 2, 3 at the top, like this. and then 1, 2, 3 on the right side, and then 1, 2, 3 on the left side, and then 3 points at the bottom like this. There you go. And now we just cut it out. Okay, section 4, the maple leaf. All right, this is a big one. Have a maple leaf hunt. Go outside to see if there is a maple tree in your neighborhood, find leaves on the ground, and use them to make beautiful maple leaf collages for your classroom. All right, I can do that. So here we are in fabulous Caribou Park in Burnaby, British Columbia. This is a park I used to go to a lot as a child. As you can see, it has lots of beautiful trees everywhere, including lots of maple trees. When I was a child, I would come here with my parents, and my father would rake the leaves into a big pile for me and my sister to jump in. So I am going to hunt around and see how many beautiful maple leaves I can find for my collage. Now check this out. It is my beautiful maple leaf collage. Got it all framed and everything. You can see I got a wide variety of different kinds of maple leaves in various states of decay. But we are not yet done with maple leaf related activities. Take a field trip to a place where your group can see the process of how to make maple syrup or other maple products. Enjoy tasting some of the sweet treats for yourself. Now, unfortunately, even though this would be a very fun and photogenic thing to do, there are not actually maple syrup processing facilities in the area of Canada where I live. I think the closest ones would be on Vancouver Island. This is something that happens in much more rural parts of the country than where I live. But I do have a very good backup idea. So here we are at the airport gift shop, which I think any true Canadian could tell you is the single best place to buy maple syrup related products. I mean, just look at this selection. In addition to boring old maple syrup, we have maple caramels, maple popcorn, maple peanut brittle, maple dark chocolate covered cherries, maple coffee, maple tea, maple stroop waffles, maple smoked salmon. This Beanie Baby's name is Maple. All right, and now are we ready to see some of the fun maple treats that I bought? As a Canadian, I have obviously eaten a fair number of maple flavored things in my lifetime, so I tried to go for some unique ones that I had never tried before. So I got these maple blueberry shortbread cookies. They just taste like ordinary shortbread cookies that maybe somebody has dumped a cup of maple syrup into the batter. And next we have these maple syrup and sea salt roasted peanuts. These are good, but they don't really taste mapley enough. Swing and a miss, Gourmet Canadiana Products Limited. And lastly, we have these, which I am most excited for, maple gummy bears. Okay, these are just weird because you have the maple flavor, but then you also have the fruit gummy bear flavor. So the result is such an overwhelming cacophony of flavor that you don't really taste anything other than sweet. I'll still eat the whole bag though. All right, next up we have the arms of Canada. Look closely at the arms of Canada and discuss the importance of each part. Discuss where the arms are hung and why. Well, luckily for me, I already made an entire video about this topic, so if you are interested in learning more about the arms of Canada, I highly encourage you to check that one out, but I can probably do a quick rapid-fire montage of it. Basically, a country's official logo appears all over the place. We have a lion, unicorn, another lion, a crown, weird helmet thing, big shield, a bunch of flowers. It is almost an exact plagiarism of the British one. Anglo pride, now fully independent of Britain, it would literally take about 5 seconds to come up with a better one. Have students develop a motto and create their own arms to show the items that are important in their lives. All right, time for another fun art project. All right, so here's the JJ coat of arms. You can see we have an orca whale on this side, which is one of the symbols of British Columbia, where I come from. And then you have a Koopa Troopa on this side to celebrate my love of Mario. At the top, you have the Canada flag and the American flag, because those are my two favorite countries. And then there's the little hat, which is a symbol of democracy, because I like democracy. And then at the bottom, we have XX, Roman numeral 10 and 10. J is the 10th letter of the alphabet, so JJ. Thought that was pretty clever. For the motto, I wanted to go with something good and pretentious, so I thought maybe a Latin quote from the Bible. There's a good line in Ephesians 4:25, Loquae mini veritatem une quias, or speak truth to every man. I try to live by that philosophy. For the main part of the coat of arms, I thought I would take some inspiration from the Canadian coat of arms and just have some symbols of ethnic origin. So this is the British, Dutch, and Italian flag to celebrate that I have British, Dutch, and Italian heritage. And then over here is the ancient French flag. Yes, I know, big shocker. Noted Francophobe J.J. McCullough actually has some French heritage on his mother's side. Moving on, the Royal Canadian Mounted Police. Have a member of the RCMP come to your class to talk. Prior to the visit, brainstorm questions for the class to ask. If it is not possible to have someone visit, write a class letter or individual letters to the RCMP to learn more about the force. Now, I actually did reach out to the local branch of the RCMP to see if maybe they had a person who would be willing to go on camera to answer some of my questions about the force. And they were actually kind of open to the idea, but you know, my deadline was pretty tight and they have a lot of other priorities. But a spokesperson did agree to answer some of my questions through email. So here it goes. I tried to come up with questions that I thought foreigners might be interested in learning. True or false, the RCMP are the police force for all of Canada? True. The RCMP is Canada's national police force and will be celebrating its 150th anniversary in 2023. Where are the RCMP headquarters located? The headquarters of the RCMP are in Ottawa, Ontario. What do RCMP people think of the nickname Mountie? Is it okay, or is it considered offensive? We call ourselves Mounties and don't find it offensive at all. I've even heard that the Queen calls us her Mounties. Do RCMP officers still wear those famous uniforms with the red jackets and the brown hats? We do wear the scarlet tunic, also known as the red serge, for formal events. We don't wear it as a day-to-day uniform any longer, though. Big thank you to the British Columbia RCMP for humoring me through this. Alright, Section 7, Canada Goose. In the fall, go outside and observe Canadian geese preparing for their journey and/or flying in their V formation. Alright, so here we are at fabulous False Creek Park, right in the shadow of the TELUS World of Science, one of Vancouver's most beloved local landmarks. This is an area where Canadian geese tend to congregate. It is right in the middle of the summer, so obviously they are not making any plans to fly south anytime soon. There is a big crowd of them right behind me, in fact, so we can go and see. Canadian geese are really quite horrible creatures. I don't think anybody in Canada actually likes them. All they do is poop and hiss. They're also incredibly comfortable around people, so it is very easy to get up close to them, although they will probably bite you. You can see how they just eat all of the grass until it's just barren wasteland, and then they all flock to wherever a few scraps still remain. I'm actually going to attempt to do something that I was always taught to never do as a child, which is to feed them. I have a little bit of bread here. Let's see if that throws them into a frenzy. Okay, they're swarming pretty good now. You can see how close I'm able to get. Alright, that's done. What's next? Ice hockey. Take your students outside on a nice winter day to play a game of boot hockey, or use the gymnasium to play a game of indoor hockey with your class. Enjoy this special and important Canadian tradition. Not really a big sports guy, but I think I know why we're in this.
Robin Hood and his merry men are up to it again.
Man, this game sucks.
Let's play Five Nights again.
Yeah.
And lastly, project number 9, Totem Pole. Have each student bring in a bar of soap to create a personal totem pole. Encourage students to draw simple shapes that they can carve that tell about them, their families, or their achievements. Ugh. I don't want to do another art project alone like some loser. Okay, Adam. So, what we are going to do is we are going to carve totem poles out of soap.
Okay.
And the totem poles have to have carvings that tell about them, their families, or their achievements. So,
Oh my god.
we are going to get cracking on this.
What if I haven't achieved anything? I did this in grade 6.
Really?
Yeah, for Coureur de Bois days.
Oh.
In Lethbridge, Alberta.
So, see, this is actually a mainstream patriotic Canadian
Are you
activity.
gonna get soap all over my floor? Is that what this is really about?
Yeah.
What were the other crafts you did?
You have to like make a Canadian flag, and you have to like go to the park and get some maple leaves.
You made someone go to the park and get maple leaves?
No, I did that on my own.
Oh.
It was kind of cool.
It is. It actually cuts a lot easier than I thought it would.
It does. I can see why this is the popular thing that children do.
I don't know that I'd call it that.
This is the activity that is sweeping the nation.
This is Fortnite, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Are we meant to like be congratulating you on 100,000 subscribers?
Well, hold your applause. I don't know if it's actually happened yet. Have you ever seen a real totem pole?
Yes, I live in Vancouver. Is this some kind of like cultural appropriation that we're doing right
well,
now?
it very
Are we
clearly
gonna get
is.
comments about this?
Yeah,
that,
it
like,
is. It is deeply, deeply insensitive.
And we're carving it from. Oh, it's not ivory.
No, that's true. Have you ever seen a soapstone carving?
Yeah, I'm sure I have.
Do you know what is the most infamous soapstone carving moment in modern Canadian history?
No.
Do you remember when someone tried to assassinate Prime Minister Chrétien and Mrs. Chrétien fended the assassin off with a soapstone carving?
No.
Yes.
I actually don't. That's like maybe the first I've heard of that.
Someone broke into 24 Sussex, where the Prime Minister lives.
Yes.
And some sort of crazy man, and was going to try to get Chrétien. And yeah, Mrs. Chrétien famously fended him off. And this became a
By
big...
throwing a soapstone
I
carving?
think she bashed him over the head with it or something.
What?
This was a very infamous, this was like a real big story at the time.
Yeah.
Because,
I broke my thing.
The Prime Minister of Israel had just been assassinated, and so it sort of provoked this big discussion about like, oh, Canadian security is so deficient, and we're relying on wives with soapstone carvings to protect our nation's leader, and all this kind of thing.
Is yours detailed?
No, God, no.
Oh, we're doing a very different approach to this.
I know. I got a glimpse of yours, and yours seemed much better. Huh. I mean, but I also don't have the lifetime of experience in soapstone carving that you do.
That's true, actually. Thank you, Madame Stendeback.
You did this in your... Did you go to French immersion school?
Hell yeah.
Oh, good lord.
I see French language as being really important. Tell us what you think in the comments. It's not really good.
I know.
Is Dial even a Canadian soap?
I don't know.
Jesus.
This is, as someone who likes to think of myself as a somewhat artistically
You're nailing it.
competent person, no, this is a great embarrassment. If I haven't already thoroughly humiliated myself before my audience and all of the other nonsense I've done up to this point, this will certainly help seal the deal.
The good news about this craft is washing our hands after is going to be a breeze.
Oh, that's for sure, eh? I'm almost done.
Is it my house for the first time on your YouTube channel?
Yeah, it is actually. Yeah.
We didn't do a video since I took over.
Yeah, fun fact for a long time JJ fanboys is that Adam moved into my old apartment where we used to film Gay by Gay, so this is now his home. It was his decision to get rid of the orange paint.
Yeah. Comment on that. JJ fanboys? Is that
Fanboys? Well, it's like, I don't know. I guess JJ completionists? Like, there are some folks out there that have, like, literally seen everything I've ever done. All of my comic strips.
Do you have a name for your fans?
No, I'm not. Maybe now that I'm...
Besides the conservatives?
So let us now exchange totem poles and see whose is doing what.
Delicate.
Okay, yours looks like an Aboriginal guy.
Oh no, but go on.
With the headdress. I see. Oh, look at this detail.
This is unintentional.
I'm gonna have to try to bring these home because I want to try to see if I can take a nice photo of it.
Okay.
Okay, so yours is it a guy reading a script? Like an actor?
Yeah.
Very nice.
Yeah.
Very nice. That's very
It was
nice.
to commemorate when I won the grade 6, speaking of carving things.
Yeah.
No, it wasn't. Grade 7 speech and debate competition
Oh, really?
called My Trip to Kip. And Kip was this like small town in Alberta that was the butt of every joke because the population was 10 people. This was the rumor.
Yeah.
I'm sure none of this was true.
Okay.
And the mayor was like an 8-year-old. I don't even remember.
Yes.
Yeah, it was like a comedic thing, and that was my first like foray into speech arts.
Oh, that's very awesome. That is pretty
Yours
good.
looks far more like a totem pole. The top is a face.
Yeah.
It looks a little bit like, you know what it looks like? You remember that ad, Don't You Put It In Your Mouth?
Don't you put it in your mouth. Don't you put it in your mouth.
It looks like one of those creatures a little bit.
That's a good real Canadian call out.
Yeah, and no, there's a crayon on the bottom.
Yeah.
For your animating.
Just for my love of drawing.
Your love of drawing.
My first passion in life.
And this is YouTube.
Yes.
It's the play button.
Yes.
Nice. Wait, what is this?
That's just supposed to be like a Thunderbird, which is the traditional
Oh.
thing in the top of totem poles in British Columbia, where I'm from. So
nice. Oh, I didn't incorporate anything like, I guess, Albertan. It's
Yeah.
My Trip to Kip.
yeah, it's funny. No, yours is very good, Adam.
That's
I like it.
amazing.
But that's awesome. Well,
Precisely.
awesome. Well, thank you so much, Adam.
Thank you. What a craft. I've done a craft in years.
So I hope you guys enjoyed this fun little patriotic Canadian adventure. Certainly brought back lots of memories from elementary school. Did you guys do a lot of assignments like this in your countries when you were young? As you probably noticed, this video had a lot of callbacks to my history on YouTube, which is part of my way of paying tribute to all of you who have been such loyal subscribers to my channel over the years. It means a lot to me that we've been able to make it to nearly 100,000 subscribers together, and I hope to continue making the sort of quality content that lured you in the first place. Next week, I'm going to do another special video all about Canada. It is going to be a lot different from this one, a lot more political, but hopefully you will find it equally interesting. Until then, as we say in Canada, au revoir.